This is Matt Waltz. And this is Sal Casa from My Darkest Days, and you're at Popularity.
Who would you say in the group has the most creative mind?
I'd have to say probably you. Yeah, probably me. Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just always very creative when it comes to music and other things. They say that I was diagnosed with ADD when I was a kid, so they actually say that attention deficit disorder people are more creative in the arts, and maybe that's what it is. I just can't stay on task, and I just start making up my own stuff in my brain.
Since the album's been out for a while now, looking back, are you still satisfied?
Yeah, yeah. Um, it took a long time to get the album done, and we've sold quite a few copies, and yeah, we're pretty happy with it.
Can you describe the approach that you take to music?
The approach, well, just simplicity. Um, creating melody that you've heard before, but you can't pinpoint it. A lot of songs you're listening to it and you're like, isn't that another song? But you can't like be like, oh wait, that's this song. Um, those are the hit songs when you're like, I know I've heard that melody before, but I don't know where I've heard it. I feel that's when you have a hit song. When you try to create to something that is not simple, very complex, and that's when you're just satisfying yourself. You need to satisfy other people. That's what music's about, and you want them to like it just as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists, just create music and play music because self-fulfillment. Yeah, self-fulfillment. Like, I'm gonna make the hardest song I can possibly make, so nobody else plays it and nobody else can understand it. That's the wrong way to go.
What would you say are some of the key challenges during the creative process of the band faces?
Just inspiration, I guess, at times. Like, I know personally, like, if you can't just force a song out of yourself, or you can't force yourself to be creative sometimes. Sometimes it's just not there. So if you're at a lack of inspiration, sometimes you're at a lack of material and to write about. Well, we named our band My Darkest Days because I found on my darkest days I'd write the best material. Because of inspiration, I was down and life just sucked. And then, there's other times where we could call the band My Brightest Days and write songs like Porn Star, which are a lot of fun and people have fun listening to them. Yeah. And but I think you need those songs that are, a little depressive because it just makes that person feel like, they're going through the same thing. Like,
What would you say are the biggest things that you learned about yourselves individually during the album creation process?
well, that's a good question. Um, just I guess at the end of the day, everyone can bring something to the table. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it is. Everyone brings an element. Even sometimes just being in a room, you can inspire something. You know. I just learned that I had to work harder to be to make it. If you just sit back and if you're not constantly improving yourself, then you will not succeed at your job. No matter what job it is, if you're not constantly trying to up it, then you're just gonna be swept under the rug or end up on the streets of Vancouver begging for change.
Did any of the songs surprise you by taking a different direction than you initially maybe envisioned?
Yeah, Set It on Fire on the album is it's one of my favorite songs, and I wanted to write a song that was poppy and had that reggae feel to it, and just like something different, because I didn't want to get pigeonholed on the album. We have to write every song has to be heavy and it's got to be negative, and we we wanted to write an album that had different types of songs, and like one that's poppy and fun, one that's a ballad. We have everything on the album. We didn't pigeonhole ourselves. So
What do you feel are the most significant moments in your life that have influenced your journey as an artist to where you are now?
well, I'd have to say watching my brother's band 3 Days Grace come up. Just learning from them and watching them, they were like a big inspiration why I started playing, like writing music and playing music. Like my brother brought home a guitar, and that's how I started playing guitar. And always having like a big brother, no matter what they're gonna do, you always look up to them. I don't know, some people don't get along with their family, but you look up to them and you're like, yeah, they're awesome, and I just, my big brother was a huge part of it.
Do you find that songs evolve and change with each time you play them? Do songs ever grow?
I think live, yeah, like so, like in terms of like the live show, they'll change a lot depending on what type of tours we're on. For example, like we can rockify songs if we're on like a really heavy bill. Matt will throw in some more screams. We'll throw in some more yelling. Drink more booze on stage, and then we can also make songs a little bit not softer per se, but just a little bit more PG if we have to, depending on the type of tours we're on. But we are what we are at the end of the day, right? So.
What emotion or emotions do you most wish to evoke when people want to hear your music?
Excitement. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to play to a crowd that's just like, when people are going crazy, like it gets you energized.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if they're not moving, then it just makes you not move too. It's when they're like going crazy and putting up their hands. It makes you feel like you're doing your job right.
Can you describe your attraction to music?
I just feel like when I hear a song that I like, it just gives me this feeling that it's just inspiring. Like I heard this song, like it was a heart cover. Um, it's called "Alone Again," and it's by this girl in Canada. I'm not sure of her name, but the chorus is just so good, and it gives you that feeling inside. Like it's just like I don't know. It's hard to describe that feeling when you hear a song that you like. It's just that feeling that you get. It's not like
Yeah, you can't describe it. That's what's cool about music.
You're not sexually aroused.
No, you're not. It's not like making you not hungry, but it's just like it's fulfillment constantly. And that's the thing with a great song, you can keep playing it and it always makes you feel the same way. Whereas bad song, or not necessarily bad song, but that's the thing with attraction to music. Some people might love a song, some people might hate it, but if you love it, it just gives you that feeling that you can't describe.
Creating music is like organizing an accident. What do you think of that statement?
You mean starting just from like a mess and then eventually just putting it back together into something? I guess you could describe it like that. It depends. I mean, it depends. Every song is different. Sometimes the idea can come from one person. Sometimes it can come from multiple people. I guess if it's coming from multiple people at the same time, it's like an accident. You kind of all fuse together and see what you can work out.
I don't think it's more like building blocks to me.
Yeah.
Not really an accident. You're trying to put the pieces back together. I think you start off with you start off with your bass.
Yeah.
You could start off with your chorus
Build a house
and add around it. Yeah, it's like building.
At the point that you're at, what do you find most challenging in music?
Just pretty much trying to, like, the single went number one at Active Rock in the U.S. It's just like, I guess, trying to up, that really. We had a really big first song for a new band, and it's, what can we do now, almost?
I feel it's consistent, staying consistent on tour. We get sick, we get colds like other people. We're human, but we're not like normal people where we can say, oh, this week I'm going to take off work. Well, no, you have 5 shows this week that you have to play, and it's pretty hard sometimes. People think it's all, you
Fun.
know, drinking and having sex with hot girls, but
That
you
does
know,
happen.
it's a real job, and when you can't do your job, it's really really stressful and really hard.
And any final thoughts or anything you'd like to say to the Radios of Popularity?
Yeah, just check out our website,
Yeah.
mydarkestdays.com.
Request our new single, "Move Your Body." It's our new song, and it's doing pretty well, and we just want to kind of keep it up there on the charts. And yeah, just hit us up on anything viral. Like, we're pretty good at getting in touch with people via Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. Come to a show.